Welcome to Intellifluence, an influencer marketing service that you can actually afford. I'm going to take you through the process of setting up a photography influencer marketing campaign targeting YouTube. We'll go through the process from start to finish, and afterwards we'll take a few minutes and we'll analyze the campaign. This will show you just how easy it is to use Intellifluence to get reviewed, build awareness, and increase your sales. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm the representative of the Flash brand, and I'm going to market our product, which is the Studio Ring Light. Once you've joined and you've logged into your dashboard, you can go ahead and click Create New Campaign. First, give your campaign a name so you can easily reference it. Next, choose the type of compensation you want to offer influencers. It can be free product, cash, or both, and you'll notice how the fields change depending on which option I choose. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm going to go with both. Next, you'll enter the free product or service you are offering here along with the retail value. So I'm offering my ring light, Studio Ring Light, and the approximate value is $75, and I'm going to offer $50 cash on top of it. Next, choose how many influencers you want to work with in this campaign. Now, keep in mind that you can update this number at any time, and you might get a notification telling you that you don't have sufficient funds to pay the number of influencers that you choose. Now, this is just a reminder letting you know that you need to fund your campaign before sending pitches if you're offering cash compensation to influencers. You don't need to worry about this right now when setting up the campaign, so we'll just skip it. Next, the required work section is really important, so I want to take a minute to highlight it. You want to make sure that you include all of the required work associated with your campaign. If there's ever an issue with a transaction, it's typically because there's miscommunication right here in the required work section. So we want to be very explicit with what we're looking for so the influencer knows exactly what to do. I'm going to enter the required work here, letting the influencer know that upon acceptance to the campaign, they are to order the Studio Light Ring, and where to do that, and what to do once they have received the ring light, and what to do in terms of the description when uploading the video to YouTube. And then I always include a little explanation about how they are going to be compensated, just so we're all on the same page. And then if you want to require a mailing address or an email address, you have the option to require that. I don't need it because I'm going to have the influencer order the product from my website. I don't need those pieces of information. All communication takes place through our Intellifluence messaging system as well, so that keeps you from having to deal with email, which is nice. So it's really important that you include a campaign image. This not only enhances your campaign visibility, especially in the Intellifluence marketplace, it just makes it look better. You really should add an image. So let's do that right now. Set the crop. I have my image ready. Next, select a start and an end date for your campaign. We'll do this for approximately a month. So this is our internal marketplace, and this goes beyond to make your offer open to our third-party partners for maximum exposure. So leaving both of these options checked will give you the most exposure for your campaign. The great thing about Intellifluence is that you can have a public campaign visible for influencers to apply to in the marketplace, and elsewhere, you can also be seeking out influencers to pitch on your own at the same time. So basically, it's double the effectiveness of most influencer marketing platforms. Next, we're going to select up to 5 categories that best represent our product or service. So we are going to do art and photography for this one, but you can always add more. Next, we're going to select what countries we want to target, country or countries. If you choose the United States, I'll show you there's enhanced search options later on in our Discover tool, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Next, you want to select the social platform or platforms that you want to promote your product or service on, and we're doing YouTube reviews for this one. You can choose a minimum audience size for your campaign. So by default, you'll only see influencers that have your preferred minimum reach. And you can adjust this down the road, so consider this a starting point. And this also dictates which influencers can see your offer in the public marketplace. For the link back URL, enter the URL for your product or service that you want the influencer to promote in their post. I have that right there. And below you can enter a suggested post message that will act as a prompt for the influencer when they are writing their post, or description in the YouTube review in this case. I'm going to include that info right there. And then if you have style guide information or brand best practices, that's always good to put that. You can add that to the posting do's. And then you can add any details you want to the posting don'ts. Once you have filled out all the fields, you've included all the required work in a straightforward yet thorough manner, you have the campaign visibility settings where you want them, and you've uploaded a campaign image, you can go ahead and click Save This Campaign. Once you've saved your campaign, you're automatically redirected to our Discover tool. The Discover tool will enable you to effortlessly search our entire network of influencers and apply advanced filters to display the absolute best candidates. You'll notice this message letting you know that your campaign is live, and here's what to do next. It's time to find the best arts and photography influencers on YouTube. In order to make things easy for you, we apply filters based on the information you enter when setting up a campaign. This ensures that you'll only see good candidates from the very beginning. And so you'll see the filters in place are influencers that will work with a product value of $75, that they'll accept at least $50 in cash compensation, that they are in the art and photography niche, they're based in the United States, and they are YouTube influencers. You'll see the influencers here display in the Discover tool, and this is an infinite scroll. We'll just keep populating. Now you can adjust these filters at any time. You can clear them all at once, or you can remove certain ones and start from scratch, or whatever you want to do. You can apply more filters and refine them in the advanced filters section. When you get multiple campaigns going, you can enter the Discover tool without any filters apply, and you can click right here to apply filters based on the specific campaign you have already created. So if you have a lot of campaigns going, this makes it really easy to enter the Discover tool from scratch and have your filters applied. So the advanced filter options you have, you can search by gender, you can refine the country, or you can dig deeper in terms of for United States, you can search by state, zip code, and then select a radius there to really get in close if you're looking to do a local campaign. You can add or remove specialties here. And then there's work history and reach of influencers. Like I said before, you can change up that reach for the influencer, the minimum reach, and you can refine by budget. You can filter by the audience size on a platform basis. So for YouTube, I want maybe at least 5,000 subscribers, and I know that I probably can't afford more than 500,000 subscribers. So you can apply those filters there. And then if you were running a blog campaign, we also have blog metrics here, and you can hover over each metric to get an explanation in the tooltip of what each metric you can filter by there. And so maybe at some point in your campaign, you'll feel the need to adjust your campaign a bit. We call this relaxing the filters. So if you're not seeing enough influencers, you might want to offer more product or more cash to appeal to a larger influencer base. Add more specialties. Those are good ways to kind of expand your search. And then so we have the influencer cards here. You can view, so each influencer card is going to display their bio as well as the minimum product and cash value they will accept. You can check out their areas of expertise and their total reach broken down to each platform here. You can view all there, or you can view their expanded profile by clicking here. It includes their bio and any images they have of themselves, and then you can view their social profiles on a profile basis. Check out their YouTube account in this instance. Once you find an influencer that you would like to pitch, just click here in the top corner and then click Add to Campaign. Once you've added the influencer to your campaign, you will see this success message up here, and you can click to go directly to the campaign, and you will see the influencer that you added right here in the transaction bar, and we're almost ready to send them a pitch. At this point, you're almost ready to pitch. As I mentioned earlier, you'll need to add funds to your account before you send pitches if you're running a cash campaign. In order to fund your campaign, you just need to click the Add Funds button, which is displayed at the top of almost every screen within the system. Now you can easily add funds using the payment card you have on file that is tied to your subscription. Otherwise, you can click Add a Card if you'd like to add another payment card. If you're ready to add funds, simply enter the amount and click Add Funds. Once you've updated your funds, you'll see an updated account balance here, and you can also view an expanded account balance here that includes all of your Intellifluence payments and subscription history. You can also view and update your payment methods right here. Now that you have created your campaign, use the Discover tool with advanced filters to find the best influencers, and you've added those influencers to your campaign, and you have funded your campaign if you're offering a cash incentive, now's the time to pitch the influencer. You can pitch influencers individually, or you can select multiple influencers to pitch using our bulk pitch tool right here. You can also remove them from your campaign in this instant using the bulk tool. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to send a pitch to this influencer, so I'm going to click Send Pitch. You'll notice the pitch is populated with your most recent campaign details. Since I'm offering cash, you'll notice the cash amount displayed here that includes the Intellifluence payments transaction fee. And then this total represents the total cost to send the pitch. If everything looks right, you can go ahead and click Send Pitch. You can also make any changes you want to this specific pitch before sending. If you want all pitches to reflect these changes, you need to edit the actual campaign. So you would back out, and then you would be at your main campaign screen here, and you would click the Edit button, and then you can edit any single component of the campaign right here. And then once you save that, all changes will be reflected in your subsequent pitches. All right, everything looks good, so I'm going to pitch this influencer. I'm going to click Send Pitch and send the pitch. Once you have pitched the influencer, you'll notice the status update there where you are waiting for a response. This kicks off the transaction flow. At this point, the influencer is going to review your pitch and either accept it, decline, or request changes via the messaging system. You can click Messages at any time to access our messaging system, which saves you from having to deal with email because email is cumbersome. Any correspondence with influencers will be stored here, as well as in each transaction within each campaign. So there's multiple ways to read your messages. When you arrive at the dashboard, they'll appear at a glance right here, or like I said, you can click the Messages tab to read all the messages from influencers throughout all your campaigns, and then you can actually just go right to the campaign there and click on the message box right here. If the influencer responds and lets you know that they are looking for different terms, you might need to negotiate by sending a revised pitch, which you can do right here if you still want to work with them. Now back to the campaign. Once the influencer has accepted the pitch, you'll receive an email notification as well as a notification displayed within your dashboard. You'll see a new message notification there, or you can go to the campaign and you'll see the transaction flow update right here. So now I'm ready to send the influencer the product and update this transaction flow, which will notify the influencer that the product is en route. So you can do this here, or you can also do this directly from the message screen as well. This opens your message thread here for the transaction, and you're going to click the Mark Product as Sent button right here. And then you can provide the necessary details such as tracking numbers or estimated delivery times so the influencer knows when to expect delivery. If the influencer needs to purchase the product from your website or a retailer, you can provide the instructions at this time. You can also provide any details such as a referral code if you want them to include it in their post. So now I'm going to mark this as sent, and you'll see within the transaction flow that it's been updated, the product has been sent, and now we just await the response. And we're back. We're in our dashboard, and you can see here in our latest message thread that the influencer has received the product. So we can go directly to that message thread, and we see that there. And you can provide a response thanking the influencer for letting you know. Look forward to reading the review. I find that it's always best to communicate constantly, just to keep things rolling along, and so both parties are involved. So now that they've received the product, they've notified us that they'll post a review. We just have to wait a little bit. And we're back once again. So let's go to the message section, and we see that the influencer has posted. So we'll go to the message thread here, and the influencer has included the post link. And so let's take a look at the URL to review. All right, here's the YouTube review, and upon checking it out, I can see that the influencer's done exactly what I asked for. The review looks good. The link that I want promoted is in the description where I asked, and we can go back to the message thread and mark this transaction as completed. Now, if there was ever an issue with the work that the influencers submitted, you can explain here in the message thread what changes need to be made, rather than marking this as complete. Since everything looks good in this instance, I'm going to mark this as complete. Now you can include a thank you or an invitation to work again in the future. You can let them know that you'll update them on future campaigns if you want to work with them again, whatever you deem necessary. So we're going to mark as complete. And now you have the opportunity to rate the influencer's performance, and this will help us enhance the community even further. Now, in a perfect world, we could end the webinar right now because everything went exactly as planned. But the reality is, sometimes things go awry. If you've done your best to provide clear instructions throughout the transaction, but there's an issue with the transaction and you try to resolve it directly with the influencer to no avail, you do have the option to flag the transaction for further review. Now, before you do this, like I said, really try and work it out with the influencer. Effective communication will go a long way. But if you're just not getting to the bottom of it, you can click the Flag This Transaction button up here, and you'll notice this message. Please only flag a transaction for review after you've tried to resolve the issue on your own. Appropriate reasons for flagging a transaction include requesting help to get any party to comply with the terms of your agreement, bringing to our attention any party that has acted in a non-professional manner, or bringing to our attention any content that doesn't comply with Intellifluence policies. If you notice anything illegal, if there's serious issues with the content. If you're experiencing anything like that, let us know about it by flagging the transaction. Also, if you've sent a pitch to an influencer but they don't want to move forward and they haven't declined it, or you've changed your mind before any of the transaction steps past pitching have been completed, you have the option to archive the transaction, and that icon would show up right there if that was an applicable transaction you could archive. Now that we have completed a transaction from start to finish, it's time to analyze the campaign. If you haven't achieved the results you're looking for, there's several steps you can take to encourage greater success. First, you might want to adjust the advanced filters when searching for an influencer using the Discover tool. Like I mentioned earlier, you might need to relax these filters a little bit. You might need to expand the categories and relax the audience requirements of influencers in terms of their social platforms or blog visitors. For your campaign, you may want to edit it and offer more product or cash value to encourage more pitch acceptances and marketplace applications. You may need to be more explicit in the required work section of the campaign if the influencer's work is consistently not meeting your expectations. It's really easy to edit your campaign and adjust the advanced filters within the Discover tool. We created a video called How to Analyze a Campaign on our YouTube channel that you can check out for more advice on analyzing your campaign. Within any screen in our system, you can either take a tour and get an explanation of how things work. Otherwise, you can click on the FAQ link to go to our knowledge base where you can search help articles by topic. If your question isn't answered or you need some more help, you can submit a request directly to one of our friendly customer service staff members such as myself. I hope this webinar has helped you out, and we look forward to helping you reach your influencer marketing goals.